is Mrs. Wainwright's Math Class, Chapter 9, Lesson 2, Ordered Pairs. Today's learning target: by the end of today's lesson, you should confidently be able to say, I can identify and plot points on a coordinate grid. Here are some important notes. Make sure that you listen to them and think about them before starting your examples for this lesson. You will need to know this information to correctly answer the questions in this lesson. So, locating a point on a coordinate grid is similar to describing directions using north, south, west, or east. It's also, by the way, similar to when you play Battleship. In the game Battleship, right, you say A4, B5, and you have to look in one direction and the other direction to see if the person hit your ship or sunk your ship or whatever. So the horizontal number line on a grid is the x-axis, and the vertical number line is the y-axis. This is my vertical number line, top to bottom. This is my horizontal number line, left to right. So I have my x-axis and my y-axis. I remember the y-axis by writing the capital letter Y, and in the capital letter Y there's a nice vertical line that goes up and down. I'm going to show an arrow on the bottom to show how it goes down, and that reminds me that my y-axis is the axis that goes up and down. My next piece of important information to be able to answer the questions and correctly put these ordered pairs on a grid is that each point on a coordinate grid can be described by an ordered pair of numbers. The x-coordinate is the first numbered in the ordered pair. It's a horizontal location, or the distance the point is from 0 in the direction of the x-axis. So let's label our x-axis right down here. This is my x-axis. The y-coordinate is the second number in the ordered pair. It's the vertical location, or the distance from point 0 in the direction of the y-axis. So this is my y-axis. Origin is my next word. The origin, the x-axis and y-axis intersect at the point 0, 0, called the origin. I think of origin because it starts with the letter O, which is like a 0. So the origin is 0, 0, and that is right here. This is the origin. It's always the beginning point of your graph. So my ordered pair that it talks about is a pair of numbers. It shows the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. It's always written in parentheses, as you see here. The x-coordinate is always written first. The y-coordinate is always written second. I remember that because I think of the alphabet, and the end of the alphabet is X, Y, Z, and that reminds me that the X comes first and the Y comes second. Also notice there is a comma between the x and y coordinates. Okay, this is still part of our factual information. Do not start any examples yet. This is part of the lesson and you do need to listen to it. Please do not skip it or you will not be able to properly answer the questions. So this example says, write the ordered pairs for the locations of the arena and the aquarium. So how would I do that? First, I locate where the arena is. It's not where the word is, it's where the point is. So I see right here is my arena point. You see that black point that I put right by my highlight. Let's take that highlight away now so that you can see that is the arena point. If I want to figure out the ordered pair for my arena point, I first look at the x-axis, then I look at the y-axis. How do you remember that? Well, I kind of remember it as a man with a ladder. And he's climbing up a wall. There's no roof or anything. There's nothing to hold on to. It's just a plain wall. If my little man, and I'm going to draw him. Oh, here comes one of Mrs. Wainwright's crazy drawings. Here's my little man. I don't know why. I feel like he needs a cap because he's a little working man. And he is going to take his ladder, and he is holding his ladder right here. Okay, so here's my little man with his ladder. Okay, if he is going to take that point, let's say he wants to clean it off like it's a spot on a window. Let's say he's climbing up to a window. What is he going to do first? So if I take my little man and I move him over right into the graph, if he sets his ladder up right here at the 0 line and he climbs up his ladder to the top, is he going to be able to clean that arena? No, because if he climbs up to the top, let me draw a little picture of him. Draw a little picture of him in yellow. He gets all the way up to the top and he wants to, this dot is the man, and he wants to clean that arena. What's he going to have to do? He's going to have to take some steps to the side, and what is he going to stand on? Nothing. Ah, boom. He's going to fall down to the ground we're going to kill the man. We're going to hurt him. So we can't do that. What the man needs to do is, first, the man needs to walk over to the x-axis, the correct spot on the x-axis. So let's have him do that right now. Here's my man. I'm going to walk him right over to here. So now his ladder is lined up right by that 3 on the x-axis. So if I was going to write an ordered pair for this number, an ordered pair starts with parentheses. This, by the way, is the arena, so let me label it arena. It starts with the parentheses. I move to my x-axis first, and he moves over to the 3. Now, I can move his ladder right up underneath that dot, and when he climbs up to the top of his ladder, where will he be? He will be right here at the dot to clean it, and if I move over to the left side, and I look at my y-axis, I see that he's up 2. So the coordinate would be 3, 2. First I moved over 3 places, then I moved up 2 places, as you can see right there. Okay, so that is the coordinates or the ordered pair for the arena. Now let's say I want to find the ordered pair for the aquarium. So I'm going to find my aquarium and highlight it. The dot is there, not the word, so that dot is right where it is. I'm going to take my little man. I'm going to move him over. If I just start him at the beginning and he climbs up, will he be able to clean the aquarium? No, because he's going to fall down. He's not going to be able to clean that aquarium. So what does he need to do first? He needs to move over to the spot where the aquarium is. So let's move him over. Looks like right there. So what is the x coordinate? What number are we on the x-axis for the aquarium? We are on number 9. So I will write aquarium. And the ordered pair for the aquarium is 9 because that's what I moved over to first. Remember, the ladder has to move over before you can climb up. Now let's see where he is on that y-axis. So I'm going to take him again. I'm going to move him up. There he is. The ladder goes right up to the top right there. And if I take my arrow, I don't draw the arrow on there. I'm just drawing it so that you can see. I kind of use my finger to do this. I take my finger where the dot is. I move it all the way over to the left, and I say, oh, okay, that has moved up 4 places. So my y-axis would be 4, and my ordered pair for the aquarium is 9, 4. The next part of our lesson that we're going to listen to but not start any examples for yet is this little question right here. It says, describe the path you would take to get from the origin to the aquarium using horizontal then vertical movements. And again, that's using our x-axis then our y-axis. So let's put our man right back in here. If I started at the origin, which is what my question tells me, I move him horizontally to the aquarium. How many places does he move? He moves 9 places. So I would write move 9 places to the right. But he's not actually at the aquarium yet. He still needs to move up. So let's go back to our man and let's move him up. How many places is he going to have to move up? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count the number of places that way, or I can move him up to where he's located, and then I can take my finger, just like I'd be taking this arrow here, but I'd take my finger, I move it to the left, and I would see that he moved up 4 places. Therefore, I moved 9 places to the right, and then move 4 places up. And that's how I would describe the path. Move 9 places to the right, then move 4 places up. Okay, now we're ready to start example number 1, and your example 1 will be similar to this example. So example number 1 says use the graph. A point on the coordinate grid can be labeled with an ordered pair, a letter, or both. So A says plot point 5, 7, and label it J. So again, I'm going to bring my little man back. Obviously, you're just using your finger for him, but it's like the top of his ladder would be like your finger. Okay, I need to plot point 5, 7. So I cannot just climb up and expect to plot it, because then when he moves over to the right, he will kill himself, and we don't want that. So I need to move his ladder to the correct place first. Here's the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His ladder has moved over 5 places. Now I need to move him up 7 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there he is right there. They put that dot right there, and they labeled it 5, 7 as an ordered pair. We can look over to the left-hand side at that y-axis, and we can see that, yes, this spot is indeed at the 7. And we can see that they correctly completed letter A for us. Now let's go back and complete letter B. Letter B says, plot the point 8, 0 and label it S. So I'm going to take my man, and I'm going to move him back down to the beginning. I need 8, 0. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. First direction is always over, so I don't kill him. And my second number is 0. So how many places do I have to move him up? None. 0 places. He stays right there. So therefore, when I plot my point, I will be plotting it right here at 8, 0. And I now have to label that as point S, which is at the coordinates 8, 0. And that's the end of example number 1. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 1 right now. Example number 2 says you can find the distance between 2 points when the points are along the same horizontal or vertical line. So the first part says draw a line segment to connect point A and point B. So I look at my graph on the right hand side. I do want to do this with a ruler, so I'm going to connect point A and point B. My next bullet says count the vertical units between the 2 points. So I'm going to start up at point B and work my way down. My pencil, or my finger, actually goes on point B, and I count line by line. I would just simply be moving my finger down. There would be nothing else written on my graph, but you can't see my finger move, so I'm going to show you with dots. So if I start on B and I move down 1 place, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I move down 6 places, so there are 6 units between point A and point B. Again, if you're doing this for your example, you should have just made the line to connect A and B. We should not see the extra dots on the graph. Let's take a look at question 1. It says points A and point B form a vertical line segment. That's true, it's up and down. And they have the same x coordinates. Well, let's see. Point A has the coordinates 9, 3. The x is 9, the y is 3. Point B has the coordinates 9, 9. The x is 9, the y is 9, so that's true. Both of their x coordinates, both of the first coordinates are 9, so they are the same. How can you use subtraction to find the distance between the points? Well, I know I counted the points and the distance was 6 units. If I look at those y coordinates, I notice something. What do you notice about 9 and 3? Well, 9 minus 3 equals 6. So how can you use subtraction to find the distance between the points? Since the x coordinates are the same, you can simply subtract the y coordinates. So what would I say? I would say 9 minus 3 equals 6. So the distance is 6 units. And that's how I would use subtraction to find the distance between the points. So number 2 says graph points 3, 2, and 5, 2. Explain how you can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between the points. So first I'm going to graph 3, 2. Remember, my man has to move to the side before he can move up. So I'm just going to use dots to show you. Again, you would not draw these dots on your graph. I'm just showing you what my finger would be showing you if I was at the board. I always start at the 0 origin. I have 3, 2. So what I have to move over is 3 places. 1, 2, 3. The orange dots have showed me that I've moved over 3 places. My next coordinate for the y-axis is 2, so I'm going to move up 2 places. 1, 2. And that's where that orange dot would be, right at that spot right up there. Okay? So I make it fatter to show that that's what my dot is going to be. And that's where my final dot for coordinate 3, 2 should be. Next I have coordinate 5, 2, so go back to the 0. With your finger, move on the x-axis to the right 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now move up 2 places, 1, 2, and there we go. The question says, explain how you can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between the 2 points. Well, I notice that they're both on the same y-axis. They are both on that y-axis too. And if you look at the ordered pairs, the first one is 3, 2, the second one is 5, 2. Both of them have 2 for their y-axis. And when one axis is exactly the same, you can simply subtract the other axis. So it says graph points 3, 2, and 5, 2. I did. And it says explain how you can use subtraction to find the horizontal distance between these 2 points. So the answer is, since the y-coordinates are the same, both 2, you can simply subtract the x-coordinates. 5 minus 3 equals 2. So the distance is 2 units. And when I look back up at this graph, my green line shows me that the distance between the 2 orange dots is indeed 2 units. Please stop the video and complete worksheet number 2 right now. So let's review. So in this lesson, when graphing coordinates and even down the line when making any other type of line graph where you're putting a dot on the graph, please do remember that our little worker man, he has to move over and then he can climb up. Because if he climbs up at the beginning and tries to move over, what's going to happen to our guy? He's going to come right off the ladder and boom, fall down. We don't want to kill the man, so we do need to make sure that we move him over first. So he's going to move wherever he needs to go on the x-axis before he goes up. And when writing a given ordered pair for coordinates, I look at my x first. I start with an open parentheses. The x is 4, so x goes first with a comma. Then I take the y-coordinate, which is 3. That goes second, and I close it with parentheses. So the ordered pair for this blue dot is 4, 3. 4 being the x, 3 being the y, a comma in the center, and parentheses around them. Hopefully by now you can confidently say, I can identify and plot points on a coordinate grid. As always, we will be practicing in class. If you have any questions or concerns, please be sure to see a teacher. Good luck with this lesson.